I need a go, no go for launch. Booster. Go. LRD. That's a go fly. EECOM. Go. GNC. We've got a go. Capcom. That's a go. Go. We have a go for launch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have liftoff. Earth Command, this is Captain Davis. We are about to engage Phase 2 engines. We leave you with this one last message as we venture into the great beyond. Farewell to those of you we know, and greetings to all future generations we will see on the other side.
What was that?
Not sure, Captain. Running diagnostics.
Computer?
Processing. There appears to be an anomaly in the navigational charts.
Navigation?
This'll take a minute.
As a man's last moments tick by, you can't help but wonder what goes through their mind. Does their life flash before their eyes? Do their children flood every last thought? Are deeds and mistakes the conscience of a dying man? For better or worse, I will never know. Immortality is not an ability given to me, rather a mistake that was stumbled upon. This is no gift nor curse, but an anomalous artifact of science. A wicked loophole in an impossible reality. This is not something I nor my crew signed up for. As part of the first research expedition to the Andromeda Galaxy, we were slated to ride in a piece of experimental hardware. An engine capable of theoretically reaching relativistic speeds, strapped to a ship capable of, theoretically, taking extreme energy impacts. My crew members and myself are getting first-hand experience of the true capabilities of this craft. I remember first laying eyes on this massive vessel. It had strange asymmetries, like a piece of abstract art, made of some substance I assume to be classified in nature. The ambient light hitting the hull reflected a red that was almost hard to look at. The shadowed sections of the ship were strange, the blackest black I've ever seen, and I'm no stranger to the void. Now looking out the port window, the material is giving off a blazing purple, and appears to be shifting slowly toward black. The crew has had many discussions up until now speculating on the origin and structure of the material, a conversation none seem to care about now. A ship's year into this journey, and 100,000 light-years from the rest of man, the crew was performing excellently, focused, prepared, and conscientious. Now we flounder while we wait for eternity to pass. The designers of the ship likely put hundreds of thousands of hours into it, but each bellowing metallic creak puts us further on edge. We know the ship should be able to take the impact of almost anything, though we are wholly skeptical it was designed for a collision with a black hole. As this occurrence, this strange experience, has never been encountered by another man, I simply hope that someone finds this message and makes use of it. For us, it may be too late. We believe the origin of our predicament stems from an intermediate black hole being ejected from its celestial neighborhood, putting it on a near collision course with us. Getting locked into a descending orbit, we found our engines incapable of accelerating us to escape velocity. Our physicist has confirmed many of these suspicions. We set our ship to maximum acceleration for the chance a gravitational ripple would allow us to reach effective escape velocity. Hopes are not high among the crew. Over the last day, we've become accustomed to the ship occasionally quaking, likely caused from the ship's resonant frequency matched with the gravitational waves we are undoubtedly passing through. I can only guess how many times we've hit the same waves as we've circled the black hole. We are seeing our own ship ahead of us as light bends, distorting around the blackness. Have you ever seen a wheel spinning fast? Remember how it spins so quickly that it appears to be stopped, or even rotating backwards? Looking out the opposite side window into the vast emptiness of space, it appears similar to that, as if we're slowly orbiting the black hole. I look out and see the blue-shifted Andromeda galaxy, a faint dot far in the distance. Suspiciously, it seems to be getting larger. It could just be my imagination. Hard to tell. Computer, analyze Andromeda proximity.
1.3469. 1.3468. Cannot resolve distance. Resolve using predictive methods?
Yes, resolve.
Resolving. Approaching Andromeda at 3e⁻⁻c.
Recalculate using fixed position and predictive time dilation effects.
1 moment. Error. Unable to calculate. Exceeding input parameters.
Approximate Earth time.
Approximately 244 million CE.
What?
It appears time dilation is more severe here than we previously approximated, and accelerating as we fall inward has further exacerbated this effect. That solemn announcement sent several of our crew into deep sobs. No one can fathom what that implies for our future. The plan to get to Andromeda, spend several years acquiring information, and return, we anticipated a total mission of approximately 25 years, and roughly 10 million Earth years. We can prepare for things to be different, humanity to have evolved, and massive progress to be made or lost. We can't prepare for massive changes on the scale that is beyond comprehensible if they were encountered. We cannot prepare for the remnants of creatures we know as humans to vanish, replaced with ancestors that could take any form, creatures that would call us gods, or aliens, or even ants. We most certainly cannot prepare for a civilization that has likely advanced beyond the boundaries of this universe. This assumes life even still exists on our blue and green marble. I don't cry, as I joined this mission for the adventure of a lifetime. I hold hopes that we may still escape. The quaking of the ship becomes more frequent with each passing minute, a sign gravity is not constant and escape closer than before. The flight psychologist has been making rounds, informing everyone they can speak with him if they need to. After he's finished, I pull him aside and tell him that he may speak with me if he needs. He seems less disturbed by our situation than I am, putting up the same facade he wears during his sessions. Pulling him into a tight embrace, I feel him relax, followed by a few deep, heavy heaves. We've known each other for several years now, and I consider us to be close friends. Friendship may be one of the only things that helps us get through the situation.
Thank you,
he says, pulling away and wiping his eyes, now slightly glimmering and reddened. We both turn and walk down the corridors, away from the command center. Jesus! I follow him for a few minutes before turning toward the lab. One of our engineers was frantically scrambling through papers, writing gibberish on a notebook. She didn't notice me until I made my presence aware.
Captain, based on electromuon conduction, flooding the chamber with strange matter can...
Talking complex mathematics, she speaks about how little time we have, noting that we might be able to escape our predicament. I became lost in her ramblings and nod at whatever approval she requested. This should help her cope with the reality we found ourselves in. Conveniently, another engineer entered the room at that instant, and they both rushed out together without wasting another moment. Another harsh shuddering of the ship, wishing them luck on their quest. I make my way to the last place on the ship people congregate. A long walk down a mostly silent corridor. But the ever more frequent shuddering almost knocked me off my feet. Grasping the wall, I prevent myself from falling, and I hear a rough, wet slapping sound just beyond. Carnal cries and lewd grunting identify the location of our doctor and mechanic. Even upon death, some of us find ourselves but simple creatures, though this coupling has been building since shortly after launch. Checking in on them now would likely be problematic. I strip myself from the wall and carry onward. The mess hall was packed, yet silent. One by one, I spoke with each person present, the soft speaking being the only noises resonating around the metallic hull. Finishing the short speech with the last person in the mess, I leave it once again silent, quieter than before. Heading back towards the command center was even more discomforting than entering the mess. Deafening hollow steps ring loud in a dying ship. Approaching command was daunting, the sound of the mechanic and the doctor no longer present. Nothing but thoughts of time with every step. A step takes less than a second ship's time, and thousands of years Earth time. Each and every stride, hundreds of generations of human ancestors live and die. Stripping me from my thoughts, I hear a soft commotion stretching halfway down the brightly lit hallway. Quickening my pace, I reach command to discover the source of the chaos. The navigation and enforcement officer are barraging Dr. Fong with questions. The confusion in her responses clearly indicates the officer's prodding was unhelpful. My arrival brings a sudden hush to the command center. What's going on here? I strain my voice to overcome the harsh shuddering. The enforcement officer began to explain engineering arrived a few moments ago and took the mechanic to the engine room. Engineering simply stated I gave approval for engine modification, of which I now recall.
We may have a way out. We will lose lots of time, but it can be done. We need to flood the engine with SQZ, then replace the rods. Captain, do I have your approval?
Engine compromised. Take immediate action.
Engineering spoke over the intercom.
All right, everyone, you've got 30 seconds. We're getting out of this pit. Hold on, buckle up. This is going to be a bumpy ride.
Those words stunned the command center to unmoving silence. All right, you heard the last. Get a seat. Secure yourself, I shout. Picking up the intercom, I repeat the same phrase and pray that others on the ship batten themselves down. The sirens wail continuously as we wait for extreme acceleration. Under her breath, I hear the navigation officer whisper,
3, 2, 1.
I grab the intercom. Engineering? What? The After a moment, I pull the intercom mic again. Did it work? Engineering, did it work?
No.
Dealing another major blow to the morale of the ship, we wander to the port to see a shifting sky. Andromeda now fast approaching. Whatever they did worsened our position, and we can do nothing now except watch as all of existence rushes towards its death. Once a far-off small dot, our destination ironically came rushing toward us. Bright lights I assumed to be stars zipped past, and as if to torment us, our lightless captor was ejected from the chaos to give us a brilliant view of the ongoing collision. Dust in a whirlpool, the galaxies danced, twisting and morphing into a new shape. It twinkled with the birth and death of stars, growing dimmer and redder with each second. The engineer who derived this insane plot arrived in the command center with the mechanic to watch as what seemed to be the last of the stars wink out of existence. Computer, identify stars.
1 star located. Displaying.
Flickering weakly, a dull white light emanated from the star as it seemed to grasp for life and fight against the oppressive void. Hours pass, or so it feels like they do, as we watch the last light in the universe die. Computer, identify stars.
No stars located.
Extensive search.
No stars located.
Check again.
No stars located.
The last glimmer of the universe is gone. Along with its death, so went that spark I hold inside. I sit down on the hard floor, holding my knees to my chest and weep. The tears carrying the last bit of humanity I have left. I now take the days as they come, trying to discuss with the crew a path forward. Everyone has resigned to either solitude to process the gravity of our situation, or hedonism to give our last remaining pointless years some level of purpose. I have taken to the former, staring out of the port to see something. Anything. Occasionally, my mind plays tricks on me as I see splotches or tendrils or eyes staring back into my own. With no orientational reference, and the ship quakes having ended shortly after the last star vanishing, we don't know if we're still orbiting the black hole, if we've been ejected from its grasp, or if we have passed beyond its event horizon. All fates no one on board anticipated on launch. When we boarded the ship, we knew it would be the last time we saw our families. We knew humanity would evolve into strange humanoids, and the humanity we returned to would not be what we knew. Accepting the facts of a changing universe was difficult. Watching all of existence come to an end, where we are the last living beings, no words can describe this hollow sensation. Staring out into the void, true, endless nothingness, I can't help but wonder, what's more empty? The expanse outside of this strange contraption, or the vacancy now residing inside myself?